They noticed humans' pupils. Dilated when watching food, predator focus activated the station glowed under the light of a distant star, a massive structure suspended in the void, orbiting the vibrant, blue-green world of Xylaris. Inside, corridors hummed with activity, and the air was filled with the low murmur of countless voices, each speaking in a different tongue. Among them, humans moved with a peculiar grace, seemingly ordinary yet subtly different from the other species that had come to call this place home. Doctor Yalara, an alien scientist from the Lyran species, stood on an observation balcony, her multiple eyes scanning the crowd below. She tilted her head slightly, a gesture of concentration among her kind, and whispered to Cairo, her assistant, "Observe the humans." Their eyes noticed the way they respond to their surroundings. Cairo, taller than Yalara by several limbs, furrowed his brow. "They eat like everyone else," he said dismissively. "Why are you so focused on their eyes?" Yalara shook her head slowly. "It is not just eating. Watch how their pupils change, how their focus sharpens. It is remarkable. They react differently to stimuli compared to any species we have studied." They had spent months monitoring humans. From the moment the humans arrived, something had stood out: tiny changes in posture, subtle shifts in attention, and most of all, the way their pupils dilated. At first, Yalara had assumed it was merely a reaction to light, or perhaps a simple reflex. But the more they observed, the more she realized it was something far more sophisticated. Humans seemed to focus intensely on food, but not merely out of hunger. Their eyes would widen, muscles would tense, and their movements became precise and deliberate. Yalara could see the careful analysis in every glance, every gesture. Even when a simple fruit sat before them, a human would pause, study it, and almost seem to measure its texture, aroma, and shape with their gaze alone. "Look there," Yalara said, pointing with a delicate limb. A young human woman walked through the crowded food market, scanning each stall carefully. Her pupils expanded almost imperceptibly when she approached a stand with colorful fruits. She reached out and touched one, rolling it gently in her hands, sniffing it, then setting it down with a thoughtful nod. Cairo leaned closer, curiosity overcoming his skepticism. "It is just food," he muttered. "Are you certain this is exceptional?" Yalara's voice was quiet, almost reverent. Exceptional is too small a word. They do not simply consume. They observe, analyze, and decide with remarkable precision. There is an instinctive calculation here that we do not see in other species. The human woman continued along the market, stopping at a vendor selling small, glowing pods. She picked one up and examined it carefully, tilting her head, eyes wide, pupils large and focused. She placed it back, moving on, her movements deliberate and controlled. Even in the chaos of the market, her attention never wavered. Cairo studied her for a long moment. "So, they are precise. That is useful for survival, perhaps, but is it truly different from other species?" Yalara's mandibles clicked softly, a sound that conveyed both amusement and astonishment. Other species react instinctively. They either grab or ignore. Humans, they calculate instinctively. It is a blend of instinct and strategy. Observe carefully, Cairo. Notice how her eyes react before she even touches the food. They expand in preparation, focusing on the item as if predicting its texture and taste. That is not mere reflex. As the two aliens watched, more humans entered the market, each demonstrating the same subtle behavior. A man paused by a stall selling baked goods, his eyes flicking over the pastries, calculating their shapes, the likely taste, even the order in which he might sample them. His pupils widened slightly, and his fingers hovered above the treats, almost as if he could sense the perfect choice through careful observation alone. Yalara's antennae quivered in excitement. "This is not about hunger alone," she said softly. "It is a predator's focus. They are hunters by nature, but not of each other. They hunt for survival, for knowledge, for mastery. And yet they temper it with thought, with restraint. That is rare in the galaxy. Cairo frowned. Predators? You mean they are dangerous? Yalara shook her head slowly. Not in a violent sense. Dangerous, yes, in a calculated sense. Their instincts are honed. They notice details that escape even our sensors. Watch them in action and you will see. They are aware, precise, and adaptable. A sudden commotion drew their attention. A small alien child had dropped a tray of food, and other species panicked, trying to clean it up. The humans, however, reacted calmly. One stepped forward, his eyes widening slightly, pupils adjusting as he scanned the scene. In a few swift, deliberate movements, he helped gather the scattered food, directing others without raising his voice. Yalara's voice trembled with awe. Observe how they act under pressure. Their focus does not falter. Even in unexpected situations, their instincts guide them, but their mind controls the response. They are predators who can think. Cairo watched silently, a sense of unease creeping in. You make it sound almost dangerous. Yalara chuckled softly. Not dangerous, Cairo. Remarkable. Consider this, a species capable of instinctive precision yet bound by reason. They can survive, adapt, and thrive where others fail. That is their strength. Their eyes reveal it if you know how to look. The humans continued through the market, interacting with the alien vendors. They laughed, exchanged words in the common trade language, and examined exotic goods with careful scrutiny. Each glance, each gesture, was a blend of instinct and observation, a calculated precision hidden within everyday behavior. Yalara adjusted her observation lenses, focusing on a young human boy who was carefully stacking small containers of glowing liquid. His pupils dilated as he worked, scanning each container's balance, size, and placement. He corrected a slight tilt in the stack, satisfied with the alignment. Cairo, watching, felt a growing respect and a creeping realization that these humans were unlike any species he had encountered. Do you see it now? Yalara asked quietly. Every movement is considered. Every glance is calculated. They do not simply react. They anticipate, they plan, they execute. This is a predator's mind in a human body, and yet they remain calm, polite, and social. No other species in our records can do this. Cairo nodded slowly, still skeptical but increasingly aware of the truth. And you think this focus, this instinctive calculation applies beyond food? Yalara's eyes glinted with a mixture of excitement and caution. It applies to everything. Observe them long enough and you will see. They are survivors. They are explorers. And they are, in ways we cannot yet comprehend, hunters of opportunity and knowledge alike. The human boy finished his task and stepped back, examining his work with careful attention. His pupils returned to normal size as he looked around, satisfied. He then ran to join his mother, who had been examining a nearby stall, her eyes bright and attentive. Together, they moved through the market, a pattern of awareness and focus that seemed instinctive yet deliberate. Yalara's antennae twitched. We must study this further. Humans are not merely another species. They are evolution in motion, refined and precise. Their focus, their adaptability, their instinctive calculation, it is a combination that is rare, almost unparalleled. Cairo remained silent, watching a group of humans laughing together while still scanning the environment for food, for obstacles, for opportunities. I see it now, he said slowly. It is subtle, but there. Their eyes, their focus, it is not just about eating. It is about understanding, controlling, mastering their surroundings. Yalara nodded, her multiple eyes reflecting the bustling market below. Exactly, and we are lucky to witness it firsthand. The galaxy is vast, filled with countless species, but humans, they are something else. Their pupils reveal their minds, and their minds reveal a species capable of surviving anything, adapting to everything, and mastering situations that would overwhelm others. The market continued around them, full of noise and color and life. And yet beneath it all, Yalara saw the truth. Humans were hunters, thinkers, survivors, and observers all at once. Their pupils told the story their actions could not yet express, the story of instinct refined by intelligence, of focus controlled by reason, of predators who had learned to temper their nature with thought. And for Yalara, watching from above, it was both thrilling and humbling. She realized that humans were not just another species to catalog or observe. They were a force of nature, quiet yet powerful, ordinary yet extraordinary, hidden in plain sight among the stars. The humans had been invited to participate in what the aliens called a sensory study. In reality, it was an experiment designed to observe the peculiar behavior that Dr. Yalara and her team had noticed, the way human pupils widened in response to food, and the way their attention sharpened with near-predatory focus. The study room was large, circular, and brightly lit. Tables were arranged in neat rows, each holding strange and exotic foods from across the galaxy. Some glowed with a soft bioluminescence, others emitted scents unfamiliar to the human nose. Alien researchers moved quietly, their multiple eyes observing every detail of human behavior without interfering. Mara, a young human with curious eyes and quick reflexes, entered the room carefully. Her pupils flicked across the table of unfamiliar foods, immediately expanding as she scanned the options. She bent slightly to observe a fruit that pulsed with soft blue light. She picked it up gently, rolling it in her hands, and inhaled its faint aroma. Doctor. Yalara leaned closer to Cairo. Notice how quickly she takes in every detail, she whispered. She sees shape, color, texture, and even anticipates taste from observation alone. This is instinct refined by intelligence. Cairo, still skeptical, crossed his multiple limbs and watched. And you believe this is unique. Other species react to new foods. Yalara's mandibles clicked softly. They react, yes, but humans analyze, calculate, and prepare to act. Look at her posture. See how her muscles subtly adjust for precision. That is preparation, not mere reaction. Mara carefully sliced the glowing fruit with her small knife, inspecting the pattern inside. She paused, then bit a piece and chewed slowly, eyes flicking to the other foods as she compared textures and aromas in her mind. The aliens noted how her pupils dilated further as she tasted, a subtle but clear sign of heightened focus. Nearby, another human, Jonas, approached a strange, gelatinous cube that shimmered with shifting colors. He squatted down to eye level with it, studying it from multiple angles. His hands hovered above the cube, fingers twitching slightly as if imagining how to touch it most effectively. Then, with careful precision, he pinched a corner, lifting it to inspect its weight and elasticity. Dr. Yalara's voice was barely audible but full of awe. Every human here is doing the same. Their eyes, their hands, their movements, they are all coordinated, calculated. There is no waste of motion. Even their curiosity is disciplined. Cairo's antennae twitched as he observed Jonah's. They are efficient, he admitted almost reluctantly. But it is just food. How far does this extend? Further than you can imagine, Yalara said softly. Wait and see. The researchers introduced more complex challenges. Foods were hidden inside strange containers, some floating in low gravity, others releasing subtle aromas only detectable if one paid attention. The humans adapted immediately. Mara leapt lightly, catching a floating pod before it drifted out of reach, her pupils wide, hands precise, and eyes calculating its movement in midair. Jonas approached a container that emitted a faint buzzing sound. He tilted it, rolled it, and listened carefully, eyes narrowing, pupils enlarging, as if trying to anticipate its contents before touching it. Yalara scribbled notes furiously, barely keeping up with the observations. They can anticipate patterns in motion, they can process multiple sensory inputs at once, and yet remain calm. Even when startled, their focus does not break. It is remarkable. Cairo shook his head slowly. They are adaptable, yes, But is this instinct or training? Yalara tapped her chest. Instinct. Observe how they act without guidance, without prior knowledge of the objects. No training could account for the speed and accuracy of their perception. It is built into them. Mara moved to a table of alien pastries that shimmered with a soft internal light. She reached out and selected one, then paused and touched another. Her pupils expanded, and her fingers traced subtle patterns across the surface. She smelled it, analyzed the aroma, then took a small bite. A faint smile spread across her face, and her eyes scanned the rest of the table, already calculating her next choice. Jonah's had moved to a set of small, metallic spheres. Each emitted a different sound when tapped, some melodic, some discordant. He tapped one gently, eyes narrowing, then adjusted the force and angle until it produced the tone he expected. Each movement was deliberate, each sound a test of perception and precision. "Doctor." Yalara's voice was a whisper, full of excitement. Notice how their attention is selective. They focus where it matters. They are not distracted by the irrelevant. Their instinct chooses the target and their mind refines the approach. This is something almost no species can do. The alien researchers decided to introduce a small surprise, a container of food that was rigged to move slightly whenever touched. Most species would react with confusion or hesitation. Humans, however, adjusted instantly. Mara caught the floating pod midair, her pupils wide, muscles coiled and ready, and placed it safely on her plate. Jonas analyzed the metallic sphere that shifted unpredictably, tracking its motion and intercepting it with perfect timing. The researchers whispered among themselves. "They are hunters by nature," said one, "but they do not hunt each other. They hunt challenges, they hunt knowledge. Their focus is both instinctive and disciplined." Yalara nodded. "Exactly. Observe how they manage surprise. Their pupils dilate, their bodies adjust, and yet they remain calm. They do not panic. They do not lose composure. That is the balance we do not see in other species." The humans began to interact with each other. Mara shared a fruit with another participant, explaining her observation and reasoning. Jonas helped another human catch a floating pod, demonstrating the precise timing needed. Each action was coordinated, efficient, and deliberate. The aliens marveled at how seamlessly humans combined instinct with cooperation, calculation with empathy. Cairo's antennae twitched with surprise. They communicate, they adapt, they work together, all while maintaining this predator focus. It is almost unnatural. Yalara smiled softly. "It is human, that is all. It is the natural state of their species. They have survived, adapted, and evolved not just because of strength or speed, but because of the way their minds and instincts work together. That is what makes them unique." As the study continued, the humans' focus remained unbroken. Hours passed, and yet no fatigue, no loss of attention, no hesitation was observed. The aliens noticed subtle changes in pupil size, body tension, and movement precision, all responding to the challenge of the task. Finally, the researchers decided to introduce a complex test, a table with multiple moving objects, each containing food items of different values and aromas. The humans had to choose, capture, and analyze them without causing disruption to the other objects. Mara assessed the table first. Her pupils dilated, hands hovering as her eyes tracked the objects. She calculated trajectories, speed, and weight, moving with precise timing to capture the most optimal items first. Jonas followed, using his own predictions to intercept the fastest-moving objects. Together, they navigated the complex challenge flawlessly, their movements almost like a choreographed dance. Dr. Yalara's voice was soft, full of awe. "They are not just solving a problem. They are predicting, analyzing, and acting in ways that our instruments cannot fully measure. Their eyes reveal the process, but the mind behind it is extraordinary." Cairo watched in silence, the words he had intended to speak failing him. They are remarkable," he said finally. I have never seen anything like this. Their focus, their instincts, their precision, it is not just survival, it is mastery, Yalara nodded. Exactly, and this is only food. Imagine what they could do when faced with challenges that threaten their lives, or when they must navigate situations far more complex than this. Their species has the potential to adapt and overcome anything. As the study concluded, the humans gathered their chosen foods, sharing observations and discussing their choices in quiet voices. Their pupils returned to normal, but the energy and attention remained. The aliens continued to record every detail, noting patterns, reactions, and the subtle interplay of instinct and intellect. Yalara finally spoke, her voice filled with quiet reverence. We came here to observe their reaction to food, but what we have witnessed is much more. Humans are not merely consumers, they are observers, analysts, and planners. They are hunters by instinct, yet tempered by thought. They are extraordinary. Cairo, finally acknowledging the truth, nodded. I see it now. They are not just another species in the galaxy. They are something else entirely. Something to respect, to study, and perhaps to fear in the best way possible. The humans left the study room, smiling, talking, and laughing among themselves, completely unaware of the magnitude of what the aliens had just observed. Their pupils had dilated over food, but in doing so they had revealed far more. A species capable of combining instinct with intelligence, focus with flexibility, and curiosity with precision. Dr. Yalara watched them go, her mind racing with possibilities. This is only the beginning, she said. We have observed their pupils, their instincts, their focus, but what we will learn next may change everything we thought we knew about humans. And as the humans disappeared down the corridor, the aliens remained behind, recording, analyzing, and trying to comprehend a species that could, at once, be ordinary and extraordinary. A species whose simple act of observing and choosing food revealed the extraordinary potential of the human mind and the predator focus hidden within. The station had settled into its usual rhythm. The corridors buzzed with the hum of conversation, the rolling of hover carts, and the soft whir of maintenance drones. Humans moved through the hallways with quiet purpose, blending seamlessly into the busy crowd, their eyes alert yet calm. To an observer, they seemed ordinary, until a sudden alarm shattered the routine. Red lights bathed the corridors, and a deep, vibrating siren echoed throughout the station. Containment breach, a robotic voice announced in multiple languages, though the humans understood it instantly. The emergency was real. A transport unit in the lower sectors had failed, releasing a swarm of small, aggressive alien creatures designed to test environmental resilience. Panic swept through the station like a wave. Most species froze, uncertain, while others ran in chaotic patterns, attempting to escape or shield themselves. Yet the humans, scattered among the crowd, reacted differently. Almost instinctively, their pupils dilated, bodies tensed, and eyes sharpened. Jonas, who had been in the food market earlier, immediately assessed the situation. His gaze swept over the swarm, noting movement patterns, trajectories, and weak points. His pupils widened as his mind raced, predicting where the creatures would strike next. Mara, standing nearby, adjusted her stance, legs slightly bent, hands ready to act. She did not panic. Instead, her entire body focused on observation and preparation. Dr. Yalara and Cairo, watching from the observation balcony, could hardly believe their eyes. They are reacting differently, Yalara whispered. Look at their eyes, look at their focus. This is what we have been studying, but now in action. The swarm advanced, a writhing mass of sharp limbs and snapping mandibles. Other species scattered, but the humans moved with precision. Jonas lunged forward first, intercepting a small creature with a swift grab. His pupils remained wide, scanning for the next threat. He tossed the creature into a containment field, already planning his next move. Mara followed, her movements fluid, her eyes calculating. She caught another creature mid-leap, her hand closing around it without hesitation. Her pupils expanded as she adjusted her grip, ensuring she did not harm it more than necessary. Each motion was deliberate, each step measured. Yalara leaned toward Cairo, excitement and awe in her voice. Notice how they do not panic. Notice the precision of their actions. They anticipate the creature's moves almost before the creatures move. This is instinct refined by intelligence. Cairo nodded slowly, his antennae twitching nervously. It is extraordinary. Other species would be overwhelmed. Humans, they are calm, yet every action is perfect. The swarm split, moving in multiple directions. Other beings retreated, crying out in fear, but the humans adapted instantly. Jonas leapt toward a group of fast-moving creatures, eyes locked on their unpredictable paths. His pupils dilated as he tracked their motion, predicting where each would land. With a swift motion, he grabbed one, spun, and directed it into a containment field. Mara adjusted to a different threat. A creature darted toward a fragile research console. She calculated its speed, timing her jump perfectly. Her hands met the creature midair, halting its advance and protecting the console. She did not shout, she did not hesitate. Her focus was absolute. The aliens recording the event exchanged astonished glances. "Their predator focus is precise and adaptive," said one. "They are hunters but controlled. They do not kill recklessly. They protect while they attack. That balance is almost impossible for other species." As the swarm advanced again, humans began to coordinate. Without verbal instruction, they moved like a single organism. Jonas intercepted creatures along one corridor while Mara covered another. A third human, Lion, used a containment net, predicting the creatures' trajectories and placing the net where it would capture the most in one motion. Dr. Yalara scribbled notes frantically. Observe their communication without words. They adjust to each other's movements instantly, sharing awareness and strategy without discussion. Their instincts and intellect are working together seamlessly. The aliens realized something remarkable. Humans were not merely reacting. They were analyzing, predicting, and planning in real time. Their pupils were indicators of focus, yes, but the true marvel was their ability to coordinate, adapt, and execute complex strategies instinctively. Jonas noticed a creature moving unpredictably, darting toward an unstable section of the station. He calculated the timing and trajectory instantly. With a leap and a swift grab, he intercepted it, using the momentum to redirect it into a containment field. Mara was nearby, eyes wide, ready to assist. She caught a smaller creature escaping the field, ensuring no gaps remained in their defense. The swarm began to break apart, confused by the humans' efficiency. Other species watched in awe. A Lyran guard muttered to a colleague, "They are predators, yes, but disciplined. Controlled, calculated. They are extraordinary." Cairo's multiple eyes followed Mara as she moved to intercept a creature climbing toward the observation balcony. She timed her jump perfectly, catching it mid-climb, her pupils large and focused, hands precise and mind calculating. She released it safely into a containment tube, her movements fluid and unbroken. Yalara's antennae quivered with excitement. "This is beyond anything we have recorded. They are precise, adaptable, and calm under pressure. Their instincts do not overwhelm them. They enhance their intellect, their planning, and their cooperation. This is human evolution in action." The humans continued, clearing the swarm efficiently. Their pupils remained dilated, bodies coiled for action, yet their minds analyzed every detail. They moved through corridors like a coordinated unit, each human aware of the other's positions, adjusting movements to maintain coverage and maximize efficiency. A sudden challenge arose. A creature leapt onto a hover cart, sending it spinning toward a group of panicked aliens. Mara and Jonas acted without hesitation. Jonas intercepted the cart mid-motion, adjusting its trajectory with precise timing. Mara secured the creature with a quick maneuver, ensuring no harm came to the panicked onlookers. Their pupils were wide, their focus unwavering, and their actions perfectly synchronized. The aliens recording the event began to murmur in amazement. "They are intelligent hunters," one whispered. "They protect, they anticipate, they execute with perfect timing." "And they remain calm," Dr. Yalara nodded. "They are predators guided by reason. No other species can combine instinct, strategy, and empathy with such harmony. Their pupils reveal focus, yes, but their minds reveal mastery." The final creatures were captured. Humans released them safely into containment tubes, ensuring the swarm would not be harmed unnecessarily. Their eyes slowly returned to normal size, but their posture remained alert, ready for any new challenge. Yalara exhaled softly. They did not panic, they did not hesitate, and yet they neutralized the threat with efficiency and care. That is what makes humans extraordinary. They can balance instinct with intellect, predator focus with compassion. Cairo finally spoke, his voice low and reverent. "I understand now. This is not just about food or observation. Their predator focus, it applies to every situation. They can analyze, adapt, and act with precision under pressure. They are more than we realized." Yalara nodded, her eyes fixed on the humans who were now calmly assisting other species, helping repair minor damages caused by the swarm, and guiding frightened individuals to safety. "This is what we have been witnessing all along. Their pupils dilate when focused, yes, but that is only the sign of something deeper. It is a window into their mind, calm, precise, adaptable, and capable of mastering any challenge." As the humans moved through the station, restoring order and ensuring safety, the alien researchers continued to record, analyze, and marvel. The humans' predator focus had been fully revealed, not in controlled experiments but in real, unpredictable danger. Their instincts, intelligence, and coordination had proven flawless, impressing even the most skeptical observers. Yalara turned to Cairo, a smile spreading across her face. "We came here to observe their behavior with food, their pupils, their focus. But what we have witnessed today is the truth of humanity. They are not merely survivors. They are tacticians, hunters, and protectors all at once. Their instincts guide them, but their minds refine every action." Cairo, still processing the event, finally nodded. "They are extraordinary, not just because of strength or speed or intelligence, but because they can balance all of it at once. Calm under chaos, precise under pressure. They are humans." The humans gathered in a common area afterward, quietly talking and sharing observations about the creatures, unaware of the magnitude of what they had just accomplished. To them, it had been another challenge, another problem to solve. Yet to the aliens, it had been a revelation. The predator focus of humans, combined with reason and empathy, was something the galaxy had never seen before. Yalara returned to her observation post, scribbling notes into her log. Their pupils reveal focus. Their movements reveal instinct. Their minds reveal strategy and care. Humans are not merely another species. They are evolution perfected, balanced, adaptable, and capable of thriving anywhere in the universe. Cairo sat beside her, silent for a long moment. "We have underestimated them," he said finally. "We observed their pupils dilate over food, but that was only the beginning. Today, we saw what they can do when it matters. They are remarkable." The humans, meanwhile, continued their work without fanfare, helping others, repairing damage, and preparing for the next challenge. Their eyes had widened, their focus sharpened, and their instincts guided them flawlessly. But they moved with calm, purpose, and intelligence, leaving the aliens with a profound understanding. Humans were predators in the most extraordinary sense, not dangerous in violence, but unmatched in focus, adaptability, and precision. And for Yalara, as she watched the humans integrate seamlessly back into station life, the realization settled fully. The galaxy would not easily understand humans. They were subtle, unassuming, yet extraordinary. Their pupils had revealed only a glimpse of the power within, a predator's focus tempered by intelligence, instinct shaped by reason, and action guided by strategy. Humans were no ordinary species. They were something the galaxy had never truly seen, and the aliens knew they had only begun to understand the full extent of what humanity was capable of. After the containment breach, the station slowly returned to its usual rhythm. Yet the aliens could not forget what they had witnessed. Humans had acted with unmatched precision and calm, and their predator focus had been fully displayed. Dr. Yalara and her team were determined to understand it further. The observation room was quiet, filled with advanced instruments and holographic displays. Yalara adjusted her lenses and watched a group of humans interacting in the common area. Each human moved with awareness, their eyes scanning the environment, subtly measuring distances, calculating movement, and observing every detail around them. They never truly relax, Cairo remarked, leaning over a console. Even now, their pupils adjust constantly, tracking stimuli we cannot perceive. It is as if their minds are always calculating probabilities, always preparing for challenges. Yalara nodded slowly. Exactly. They are calm, yes, but constantly analyzing. Their predator focus is not triggered by fear alone. It is a constant state of readiness, sharpened by intellect and discipline. Observe them closely. A human named Lion moved to a maintenance station, carefully examining a broken panel. She adjusted her posture, pupils widening as she studied the circuitry. Every movement was deliberate. Her hands traced wires with precise attention, ensuring no mistakes were made. Another human, Mara, approached to assist. She assessed Lion's actions, noting where additional support might be needed. Without speaking, they coordinated seamlessly, their instincts guiding them while their minds refined each action. Dr. Yalara's antennae twitched in excitement. Notice how they coordinate without words. Their predator focus allows them to read intentions, predict actions, and assist one another instinctively. It is a remarkable form of communication, one we have not seen in any other species. Cairo adjusted his sensors to measure subtle changes in the human's physiology. Their heart rates remain calm, yet their pupils dilate, muscles tense just enough for optimal movement. This balance of preparedness and composure it is extraordinary. Other species lose control under stress. Humans maintain it. The aliens decided to conduct controlled tests, introducing minor challenges to observe human responses in everyday life. A small hover cart was released with a slight imbalance, moving unpredictably toward the humans. Most species would panic, but the humans adjusted instinctively. Jonas reached for the cart, his pupils wide, hands precise. Mara calculated its trajectory and assisted by redirecting its momentum safely. Every movement was fluid, efficient, and coordinated, as if rehearsed but entirely spontaneous. Dr. Yalara spoke softly to Cairo, her voice filled with awe. Their predator focus is not only about action, it is about anticipation, perception, and precision. They see what others cannot, calculate outcomes instantly, and act with perfect timing. And they do so without arrogance or aggression. That is the key difference. Cairo watched the humans interact with alien technology. They adapted quickly, observing functions, predicting outcomes, and experimenting safely. One human carefully analyzed a complex holographic interface, fingers hovering as pupils widened. She adjusted controls gradually, observing how each change affected the system. Within moments, she achieved what several alien technicians had struggled to do for hours. They learned through observation and action, Yalara explained. Their instinct guides them, but their intellect refines it. They are predators of knowledge as well as action. The aliens began introducing more complex tasks. Humans were asked to repair a malfunctioning energy conduit. The conduit emitted subtle vibrations, shifted unpredictably, and required delicate handling. Mara approached, assessing the situation. Her pupils dilated, hands adjusting with precise timing and pressure. Jonas joined, calculating the balance and force required for each move. Together, they worked seamlessly, neutralizing the problem efficiently while maintaining safety protocols. Other species struggled to adapt to the unpredictability. Many failed, fumbling with controls, causing minor accidents or freezing entirely. Yet humans remained composed, moving fluidly between observation, calculation, and action. Doctor. Yalara recorded every detail, fascinated by the balance of instinct and intellect she was witnessing. They are adaptable in a way that transcends simple skill, she whispered to Kiro. They read the environment, read each other, and act accordingly. Their predator focus enhances their ability to survive, to solve problems, and to work together. No other species shows this level of integrated capability. Kairo's antennae twitched thoughtfully, and yet they are not aggressive. They use their focus for precision, not dominance. That is what makes them unique. Most predators rely on force. Humans rely on perception and strategy. The aliens observed another situation. A group of humans was asked to navigate a simulated hazard corridor filled with moving obstacles and minor environmental hazards. Most species panicked, slowed, or collided with the obstacles. Humans, however, moved as if the path had been calculated in advance. Their pupils dilated as they assessed each movement, adjusting timing and angle to avoid collisions. They coordinated with each other silently, anticipating actions and correcting mistakes before they happened. Dr. Yalara's excitement was palpable. They are not only predators, they are strategists, analysts, and collaborators simultaneously. Instinct alone cannot account for this. Only intelligence combined with natural focus allows them to achieve such mastery. Cairo leaned back, watching in awe. It is astonishing. Their predator focus is a tool, a lens through which they perceive the world, and they use it to protect, to assist, to solve problems. They are efficient without being ruthless, precise without being reckless. The aliens began to test the limits of this focus. Minor challenges became increasingly complex. Fragile objects that required careful handling, moving machinery that demanded timing and coordination, and unpredictable environmental variables. Each time, humans adapted instantly. Their pupils dilated in concentration, muscles coiled for optimal performance, and minds calculating solutions continuously. One particularly difficult test involved balancing a floating platform while redirecting an unstable energy beam. Many species failed, causing sparks and near damage. Humans approached calmly. Jonas analyzed the platform's weight and movement, adjusting pressure subtly. Mara calculated the beam's trajectory, moving with precise timing to redirect it safely. Lion stabilized the platform, ensuring the energy remained contained. Within minutes, they succeeded where others had failed, their predator focus guiding instinctive calculation and deliberate action. Yalara whispered to Kiro, a smile in her voice. They do not just survive, they master. Their instincts, their intellect, their empathy, they integrate all three to achieve perfection. We have never seen anything like it. Cairo's multiple eyes scanned the room, noting the calm efficiency of the humans. It is the combination that is remarkable. Instinct alone or intellect alone would not produce this result. They merge both seamlessly. And yet, they remain humble, cooperative, and aware of others. That balance is extraordinary. The aliens continued observing as humans performed mundane tasks with extraordinary efficiency. Cleaning a laboratory became an exercise in coordination and anticipation. Each object was assessed for weight, fragility, and placement. Hands moved with precision, pupils dilated in focus, and minds calculated the optimal sequence. Other species watched in awe, their own instincts failing to match the humans' refined approach. Yalara took detailed notes, her excitement growing with each observation. Every movement tells a story. Every glance reveals calculation. Their predator focus is a lens through which they navigate the world, and through that lens, they perceive opportunities, challenges, and solutions simultaneously. Cairo finally spoke, a tone of admiration in his voice. We came here to observe pupils and focus, but what we have discovered is far beyond that. Humans are extraordinary. They are predators, yes, but controlled, precise, and adaptable. They are thinkers, planners, and collaborators. They are evolution perfected. The humans themselves were unaware of the extent to which they impressed the aliens. They worked, laughed, and shared insights naturally, without self-consciousness. Their eyes reflected curiosity, determination, and awareness, but they did not realize that those very behaviors had revealed a truth that could change how the galaxy viewed them. Yalara finally leaned back, her antennae quivering with excitement. We must continue studying them. We must understand the limits of their focus, the depth of their instincts, and the breadth of their intellect. Humans are not ordinary. They are not merely another species to catalog. They are a force, subtle yet powerful, ordinary yet extraordinary. Cairo nodded. And the galaxy has only glimpsed the beginning. Their predator focus, combined with reason and empathy, allows them to thrive where others fail. They are capable of more than we can imagine. As the humans concluded their tasks and moved on to other activities, Yalara continued to observe. Her pupils narrowed in thought. She realized that humans' abilities extended beyond survival, beyond instinct, beyond calculation. Their focus allowed them to master any challenge, adapt to any situation, and integrate intellect with instinct in a way that no other species could. And as the humans walked through the station, their eyes bright, their movements precise, and their minds constantly analyzing, the aliens knew one thing for certain: humanity was extraordinary. Their pupils dilated for food, yes, but that simple act had revealed far more: the predator focus, the intelligence, the discipline, and the adaptability that made humans capable of thriving anywhere in the universe. For Dr. Yalara and her team, it was a revelation that would define their understanding of humans forever. They were not merely another species. They were evolution in action, predators guided by reason, thinkers guided by instinct, and collaborators guided by empathy. They were humans. Weeks had passed since the containment breach, but the humans continued to impress the station's alien population. Their calm efficiency, precise movements, and predator focus had become the subject of endless study and quiet admiration. The aliens no longer viewed humans as ordinary or fragile. They were now aware that humans were capable of feats that required both intellect and instinct in perfect harmony. Dr. Yalara watched the humans from her observation post, noting the subtleties of their daily routines. Even in simple tasks, their pupils dilated slightly as they focused, their hands moved with purpose, and their minds calculated possibilities before acting. Their awareness was constant, their focus natural yet precise. "They are extraordinary," Cairo said, leaning over the console beside her. "Even in calm moments, their attention is active, their awareness complete. It is as if their entire species is built to observe, to calculate, and to adapt." Yalara nodded. "They are predators in thought as much as action, yet their instincts are guided by reason, tempered by empathy. That is why they thrive where other species struggle. They do not panic. They do not act recklessly. They perceive, analyze, and act with precision." The Station Council, composed of representatives from dozens of alien species, had begun to recognize the humans' abilities as well. At a formal meeting, council members debated how to integrate humans into critical operations. They are capable of managing hazards that overwhelm other species, one representative said. Their focus allows them to adapt instantly. Their instincts guide them without compromising judgment. Another alien, a tall, multi-limbed engineer, added, and yet they are cooperative. Their abilities do not dominate others. They enhance every group they join. The council decided to assign humans to roles that required both intelligence and adaptability, emergency response, environmental management, and complex problem-solving tasks. Humans approached these roles with calm competence. Mara led a small team tasked with reorganizing a critical energy conduit system. Her pupils dilated as she analyzed the machinery, calculating load balance, connection points, and energy flow. Jonas assisted her, coordinating with other team members silently, predicting movements and adjusting his own actions to ensure smooth progress. Lion monitored the surrounding systems, ready to intervene if any hazard arose. Each human moved with awareness and precision, their predator focus guiding instinct and intellect simultaneously. Dr. Yalara watched as the humans completed the task efficiently, without error, and with care for the delicate systems they handled. "Observe how they manage risk," she said softly. "Other species would either panic or move too cautiously. Humans anticipate, act, and protect simultaneously. Their predator focus is more than instinct, it is integrated strategy." Even outside emergencies, humans displayed remarkable perception. In a common area filled with various alien species, a minor spill occurred. Where others might have ignored it or caused accidents in attempts to clean it, Mara and Jonas immediately took action. Their eyes widened slightly as they scanned the scene, bodies tensed just enough to react instantly. They moved with careful precision, preventing the spill from spreading, guiding others safely around it, and resolving the problem efficiently. The aliens around them watched in awe. "Their attention to detail is astonishing," one whispered. "They combine awareness, judgment, and action without hesitation. They do not panic, yet they do not delay. They are perfect operators." Dr. Yalara smiled. "This is what makes humans remarkable. Their predator focus does not make them aggressive or destructive. It makes them precise, adaptable, and effective. They can thrive in chaos without losing composure, and in calm without becoming complacent." Over time, humans became advisors and problem solvers on the station. Their ability to perceive, calculate, and act with precision made them invaluable in complex projects, from repairing malfunctioning systems to navigating diplomatic negotiations where subtle observation mattered more than strength or intimidation. A situation arose where the station's environmental systems were destabilizing due to a rare cosmic phenomenon. Most species struggled to understand the rapidly shifting parameters. Mara, Jonas, and Lion immediately assessed the situation. Their pupils widened as they analyzed pressure levels, energy fluctuations, and structural stability. Their hands moved carefully, recalibrating systems, redirecting energy flows, and stabilizing the environment before it could spiral into catastrophe. The aliens observed in astonishment as humans coordinated without overt communication, reading each other's intentions and predicting outcomes instinctively. Where most species would have failed or required extensive guidance, the humans completed the task calmly and efficiently, their predator focus guiding action, intellect refining it, and empathy ensuring the safety of all. Dr. Yalara's antennae quivered with excitement. Their predator focus is more than physical. It is mental, emotional, and social. They perceive their environment, understand the consequences, and act precisely, all without sacrificing awareness of others. They are unparalleled in the galaxy. The Council called a formal session to acknowledge the humans' abilities and contributions. For the first time, representatives from multiple species openly praised humans, recognizing their unique combination of instinct, intellect, and cooperation. Their focus is extraordinary, one council member stated. They predict outcomes, coordinate action, and adapt to any situation. They do not dominate, yet their presence ensures success. Yalara added, humans reveal what evolution can achieve when instinct and intelligence are balanced. Their predator focus allows them to observe, calculate, and act in harmony. They are not merely survivors, they are masters of adaptation and precision. The humans themselves remained humble. They did not boast or seek recognition. They approached every task with calm attention, analyzing and acting instinctively yet thoughtfully. Their pupils dilated when focus was required, but their composure remained constant. They were aware of their surroundings, prepared for any challenge, yet unassuming in manner. One day, a minor accident occurred in a research lab when a containment unit malfunctioned. Many species panicked, unsure how to handle the situation. Humans reacted instantly. Mara assessed the malfunction, her pupils wide as she calculated the safest approach. Jonas predicted the unit's movement, positioning himself to stabilize it. Lion redirected energy flows to prevent escalation. Within moments, the hazard was neutralized, the containment unit secured, and no one was harmed. The aliens recorded the event, marveling at the humans' abilities. They do not simply react, one commented. They anticipate, calculate, and act with precision. They manage risk while maintaining calm and ensuring the safety of all. It is remarkable, Yalara nodded. They are predators by instinct but guided by reason and empathy. Their eyes reveal focus, yes, but their minds reveal mastery. They do not rely on brute strength or reflex alone. They integrate intelligence, perception, and cooperation in ways no other species can match. Even in moments of leisure, humans displayed subtle signs of predator focus. In a recreational area, they played games that required strategy, observation, and timing. Their pupils widened as they focused, hands and eyes moving with precise coordination. They adapted to each situation, predicting outcomes and adjusting actions seamlessly. The aliens continued their studies, realizing that humans' predator focus extended far beyond physical survival. It applied to problem-solving, collaboration, innovation, and even social interaction. Humans had an instinctive ability to perceive patterns, anticipate consequences, and act with precision, all while maintaining composure and empathy. Dr. Yalara reflected on their journey. We came to observe pupils dilating at food, she said quietly to Cairo. But what we have discovered is far greater. Humans are a species capable of mastering their instincts, refining them with intellect and integrating them with empathy. They are a force of nature, quiet yet powerful, subtle yet extraordinary. Cairo nodded, finally understanding the magnitude. Their focus is a window into their capabilities. They can adapt to any environment, solve any problem, and cooperate with any species. They are humans. As the station settled into calm once again, the humans continued their daily routines. They worked, played, and learned with quiet diligence, unaware of the awe they inspired. Their pupils dilated in focus, their instincts guided them, and their intellect refined every action. Yalara observed them one last time for the day. They have taught us that predator focus is not merely instinct, it is potential. Potential combined with intellect, empathy, and discipline. Humans are not just another species. They are evolution perfected. Cairo added, the galaxy may never fully comprehend them. They appear ordinary, yet within them lies extraordinary capability. They can adapt, survive, and excel in ways that even the most advanced species struggle to match. The human's reputation on the station grew. Other species sought their guidance, relied on their precision, and learned from their calm efficiency. Yet the humans themselves remained humble, never seeking dominance, never acting with arrogance. They moved through the station with awareness, purpose, and quiet competence. their predator focus guiding them in every action. Dr. Yalara recorded her final thoughts in her journal. We observed pupils dilate over food, but that was only the beginning. Humans revealed instinct honed by intellect, focus tempered by reason, and action guided by empathy. They are adaptable, precise, and capable of mastering any challenge. Humanity is a species to respect, study, and learn from. They are predators, thinkers, and collaborators all at once, a force of evolution hidden in plain sight. And as the humans walked through the station, interacting, observing, and acting with calm precision, the aliens finally understood. Humanity was extraordinary. Their pupils, their focus, and their instincts were only a glimpse into a species capable of thriving anywhere in the universe. They were not merely survivors. They were masters of adaptation, precision, and collaboration, a living example of the potential of evolution itself. The station, once bustling with ordinary activity, now held a quiet reverence for the humans among its inhabitants. For the aliens, the lesson was clear. In observing humans, they had witnessed something rare, something powerful, and something worth honoring. Humans were extraordinary, not because they sought glory, but because instinct, intellect, and empathy worked together naturally within them. And so the humans continued, unaware of the awe they inspired, their predator focus guiding them, their intellect refining every action, and their empathy ensuring harmony. They were the species the galaxy would remember, not for conquest or aggression, but for the quiet, extraordinary mastery of life itself.